Welcome back to Cozy English Corner. I am Alex, and today we are talking about 3 words that silently paralyze English learners every single day. Either, neither, and rather.
It is so true. Thank you for having me, Alex. I am Harper, and I see this happen all the time in my work as an event planner.
It is great to have you, Harper. Now, we are sitting here in our studio in Columbus, Ohio. And if you know anything about the Midwest, you know our weather is completely unpredictable.
Oh, absolutely. Yesterday we had a snowstorm, and today it is warm and humid. You have to be prepared for almost anything.
Exactly. And because the weather changes so much, our plans change. Someone might ask you, do you want to walk in the park or go to a coffee shop? And this is where the panic begins.
Yes, the moment of choice. The other person is looking at you, waiting for an answer, and suddenly your brain completely empties.
I want to talk about the real pain here. People think this is just a grammar issue. They think, oh, I need to review my textbook. But it is not about grammar, is it?
Not at all. The real pain is the fear of sounding uneducated. You are an intelligent adult, but when you are forced to choose and you do not know how to say neither, you end up pointing and nodding like a child.
That is exactly it. You feel like you lose your personality. So today, we are going to fix that. We are going to make these 3 words your best friends in any conversation.
I love that. Where should we start? Should we start with either?
Let us start with either. First, let us clear up a very common confusion. Is it pronounced either or either?
Oh, the classic pronunciation debate. The truth is, both are completely correct. Either is more common in standard American English, while either often sounds a bit more British, though many Americans use it too.
Exactly. Do not let the pronunciation stop you. Now, what does either actually do in a conversation? It gives power to the other person.
That is a great way to put it. When I tell a client, we can either meet on Tuesday or Thursday, I am drawing a clear boundary, but I am letting them make the final choice.
Yes, it organizes the chaos. Without either, a conversation can go in circles forever. But when you use either, you frame the options clearly.
And if someone asks you, do you want tea or coffee, and you really do not have a preference, you can just say, either is fine. It is such a polite and easy response.
I use either is fine almost every day. It instantly removes the pressure. But what happens when you do not want the tea and you also do not want the coffee?
That brings us to neither. And I think this word actually scares people the most.
Why do you think neither is so intimidating?
Because it is a rejection. You are rejecting both options that the person just offered you. For someone learning English, saying no feels risky. You worry that you sound rude or difficult.
That makes complete sense. We naturally want to be agreeable. But here is the truth. Neither is actually a tool for protecting your boundaries.
Exactly. Imagine you are at an office lunch. Someone says, we are ordering pizza or hamburgers. Which do you want? If you have dietary restrictions, you have to be able to say, actually, neither. I brought my own salad.
That is a perfect example. It is not rude to have needs. And the word neither is the most direct, elegant way to communicate that both options are off the table.
And just like either, you can pronounce it neither or neither. Again, neither is what you will hear most often around here in Ohio.
Let us pause for a moment and look at the psychology of choices. There is a concept in psychology called Hick's Law.
I have heard of this. Is that the law about decision fatigue?
Yes, Hick's Law states that the more choices a person has, the longer it takes them to make a decision. The brain literally gets tired. It is called cognitive load.
That explains why looking at a huge restaurant menu feels exhausting.
Exactly. When you use either and neither, you are actually reducing the cognitive load for yourself and the person you are talking to. You are narrowing the world down to just 2 things. It is a kindness, really.
I never thought about grammar as an act of kindness, but that makes so much sense. You are saving time and energy for everyone involved.
Now let us bring in the third word. This is the word that changes the direction of the conversation. Rather.
Oh, rather is a beautiful word. It is soft, but it is firm. It expresses preference without sounding demanding.
Let us look at a local scenario. During football season, the whole city focuses on Ohio State games. Suppose a coworker asks, "Do you want to watch the game at the stadium or at a sports bar?"
And maybe you dislike crowds. You could say, "Neither. I would rather watch it at home."
Listen to how smooth that is. I would rather watch it at home. You are not just saying no, you are offering an alternative. You are keeping the conversation alive.
That is the magic of rather. It bridges the gap. It tells the other person who you are and what you enjoy, which builds connection.
I want to highlight something very important. You said, "I would rather." When we use rather for preferences, we almost always pair it with would.
Yes, I would rather read a book. She would rather take the train. It sounds much more natural than just trying to use rather by itself as a verb.
Exactly. And if you want to decline something completely but politely, "I would rather not" is one of the strongest phrases in standard U.S. English.
It really is. Imagine a coworker asks you to complain about the boss with them. You can just smile and say, "I would rather not get involved." It is polite, but it shuts the door completely.
That is a brilliant example. You are protecting your peace without causing drama. This goes back to the pain we discussed earlier. Without these words, people feel defenseless.
They do. They just agree to things they hate because they do not have the vocabulary to pivot away comfortably.
Let us practice. Let us do a quick role play to show how natural this can sound in everyday small talk. We are at a networking event downtown.
Okay, I am ready.
So, Harper, are you driving back home tonight, or are you taking a rideshare?
Actually, neither. I live just a few blocks from here, so I would rather walk and enjoy the cool weather.
That sounds perfect. See, in 10 seconds, you answered the question, corrected my assumptions, and shared a personal detail about yourself.
And it did not feel forced at all. It was just a normal interaction.
Now, let me ask you a question that often confuses learners. Can either and neither be used at the end of a sentence?
Yes, they can, but they serve a different purpose there. They show agreement with a negative statement. If you say, "I do not like the cold weather," I can say, "I do not like it either."
Or you could simply say, "Me neither." Both options are perfectly acceptable and very common.
Exactly. Me neither is the fastest way to agree when someone shares a negative opinion. It builds connection instantly.
It really does. Let us review what we have learned today. Either gives power and organizes choices. Neither protects boundaries. And rather expresses preference gracefully.
When you look at them like that, they really are social tools, not just vocabulary words.
I want everyone listening to challenge themselves this week. The next time someone offers you two choices, do not panic. Take a breath.
Use one of these words. Take control of the conversation. You have the right to express what you want or do not want.
Harper, thank you so much for coming into the studio today and sharing your perspective. It has been incredibly helpful.
It was my pleasure, Alex. Thank you for inviting me.
And to all our listeners, thank you for showing up for yourselves today. If this episode helped you, please subscribe and share it with someone who might need a little confidence boost.